Chuck has a question for you about that.
Hey, so let's pivot away from pro football to college football and the Colorado Buffaloes. Travis Hunter, put your GM hat on. Okay, Lombo, I don't know how much you've studied. Travis, at this point, I've spent the last week and a half watching him on both sides of the ball and breaking down mostly him as a defensive back. And this guy is a rare talent. I mean, he is a freak. He's got I think if you're going to go find the best shutdown man, press man corner in college football, it's him. I know he's electric on the offensive side. If you're picking, he's sitting there on the board, okay, and you're going to draft this kid. Are you drafting him as an offensive player or a corner? Wide out of corner.
I'm going to draft him as a defensive player because he might score 5 touchdowns, intercepting passes. His hands are that good. He's never out of balance when you watch him play defense. The guy's always in position to catch the ball and defender. One of the things defensive backs have to have, everybody talks about vertical speed. Yeah, that's really important. But you have to have great balance to be able to change direction and not have wasted motion. And this kid does it effortlessly. It's really remarkable how good. And then let's add in his conditioning. He plays all the plays on offense. He plays all the plays on defense, and he never gets tired. And he plays just as good in the fourth quarter as he does in the first quarter. I mean, so to me, I'm going to play him on defense because I want to put him on whoever the second best receiver is on the team and just take him out, and I'll double the first one. But I think to me, the fact that he can make plays on the ball, that's the key. Most of the times the defensive backs drop passes instead of intercepting. And I think he could. We saw that with Bland last year for the Cowboys. He had 5 interceptions for touchdowns. That makes a huge difference in your team. It turns the game over. I think he's going to come in the league and play defense, and I don't think people are going to challenge him very often once you watch him on tape.
There'll be a package for offense, though, obviously. They'll have a couple
Probably harder.
Sure.
I agree.
We did that with Woodson, Chuck. Remember, we did that with Charles. Charles could have been that kind of player, too.
Absolutely.
Woodson was really good offensively and as a returner.
Don't you think it's harder to find cover corners like this dude than it is wide receivers right now?
I think it's the hardest thing to find because, everybody gets labeled you're a cover corner, and then they don't cover everybody. But this kid can cover anybody.
Yeah, he is. And you talked about his conditioning. It's not just like he's playing the same way and forth. He's a juice guy for the team.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He is a juice guy for the offense. He's a juice guy for the defense. He's a juice guy on the sideline. He's a juice guy in cell. He's like,
oh, my God.
He is like some building is going to get very, very lucky whenever he gets added into it.
I mean, in overtime against Baylor, he forced that fumble to win the game.
Tackle.
Yeah, and that was in overtime.
Perfect form, too.
Perfect.
Lower shoulder, head out of the side, right to the ball.
His instincts and reaction, he does play a little bit of zone. They play a little cover, too, and he has his eyes in the backfield, and he just feels routes, and he breaks on balls and intercepts them. They throw a bubble screen his way. He comes out of nowhere, beats the wide receiver block, and saws this guy's outside fucking leg off. cuts him in half.
He's so good, dude. And then he came up to game day at Penn State, and obviously everybody wanted photos with him. He's like super megastar.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting a superstar who doesn't drink, doesn't smoke,
no
doesn't do
red
anything,
flags
loves
whatsoever.
ball. 4-0. What a genius. Hey, let's make sure we're happy for him, though, if we're around him.
Amen.
A lot of good things are taking place there. Let's make sure we're celebrating that.